Cars are released from the assembly area in a random order, but are released at 10-second intervals onto qualifying. And for every driver, you get 5 laps in total. So you get the out lap, which they are on the process of doing now. You get 3 flying laps, and then you get an in lap. And the way that it works is that each driver's fastest time from qualifying will determine the grid for race number 1. Their second fastest time will determine the grid for race 2. And if there's a third race, then where it's scheduled, for which, when he looks back, there is a third race for this weekend, then the starting grid for the third race is formed from the finishing order of the second race. So you get 3 opportunities to get a quick lap in, but 2 of them you really have to make count. And I'm afraid that already one car has fallen foul of that, because Mikey Porter, the dual nationality British-American driver, has already, I think, transgressed circuit limits, so 1 lap is not going to count for him already. And that's the thing, you need to be so careful. He's not the only one now as well, because Chase Fernandez as well has also just run wide, and lap 1 time is going to be disallowed as well, which means that you have to nail the next 2 laps. It puts ever more pressure on these youngsters who, remember, are all aged between 14 and at the very most 17 years of age. So you've got to get on with it. It's not quite a Super Pole session where just 1 lap counts, because you've got the 3, but 2 of them you have to get right. And the man who really has got everything right this season is Freddie Slater for R Racing. The number 7 car. Freddie has won every single race so far, apart from last time out, the final race at Silverstone, where he finished in 3rd position, and he finished in 3rd place because he was leading up until the very final lap and almost the very final corner, where he ran wide, picked up a time penalty, and was given a 5-second penalty, which lost him the win. Ultimately, he was not happy with that. I interviewed him on the podium afterwards, and you could just tell the body language told me everything that you needed to know. And what was coming out of his mouth was, it was polite, it was very professional. He's a very professional young man, but you could just hear the tone of the voice was enormously disappointed. Even though, he'd proved he got the pace and still finished on the podium, he wanted the win, and he wanted to keep up that string of being unbeaten, but that unfortunately wasn't the case. But he has, on the first flying lap, gone through and set the fastest time. 1 minute 53.896 from Freddie Slater at the moment, sees him top of the times. Second quickest is Alicia Palmovsky, who's gone really well this season as well. Alicia Palmovsky has been doing fantastically well. She lies 4th in the championship standings coming into this one. She is second quickest with a 1 minute 54.463. Third quickest now, Hugo Schwarzer, the German driver, who, again, another driver that we've seen plenty of on the podium so far this season. He goes third quickest with a 1 minute 54.705, albeit he drops down to 4th quickest now, because up to 3rd goes Finn Harrison, number 38 for Assetto Motorsport, with a 1 minute 54.662. So Schwarzer now is 5th. 6th is number 37, which is Leo Robinson, and 6th at the moment is car number 50, which is Charlie Hart, who is son of Chris Hart, who we see out racing in the British GT Championship. So we're waiting for the quick time to come in from Reza Siwarthan as well. It'll be interesting to see how the number 78 car goes. He has not as yet posted a flying lap time that counts, but Freddie Slater quick on the first lap. Not much slower on this second lap, but not quite as quick through the first part of the lap as the number 38 car of Finn Harrison for Assetto Racing, who is a matter of just a few thousandths shy of the ultimate time through that first sector that's been posted. Of course, those cars that had lap times disallowed on the first flying lap now really need to scoop it up and make sure that they post the best time this next time through. The time would have been recorded, but it won't have counted towards a grid position because they've transgressed the circuit limits. Now this time through, Freddie Slater about to go over the start-finish line, slower through the first sector than he'd been, quicker through the second sector, and when the time pops up, which again is just taking a while, he goes quicker, 1 minute 53.719, but is he going to go as quick as Finn Harrison, who was quick through the first sector, lost a tiny bit of time through the second sector, but not much at all, Finn Harrison. Up to Charlie Hart goes 5th quickest, which means that Leo Robinson in the number 37 car drops down into 6th place, and up to 3rd place from what was a very first poor lap because it didn't count was Mikey Porter. He had his first lap time disallowed, but Mikey Porter nails together the second lap, so the number 19 car goes 3rd quickest now, 1 minute 54.379 from him. But we've still got the car of Finn Harrison, the number 38 car, to flash its way over the start-finish line at the end of this lap. Another car that lost its first lap was Chase Fernandez. What can he do? He can go 9th quickest at the wheel of car number 90. Through and over the start-finish line goes Luca Hopkinson. Luca Hopkinson registers a time that sees him go 5th quickest that time through, 1 minute 54.513. He was another driver that lost, I think, his first lap time, having run wide on the transgressing the circuit limits. And so you can't afford to do that when all you get is an out lap, 3 flying laps and an in lap in Ginetta Juniors. You've got to get on with it straight away. Get the banker lap in and then maybe push the boundaries from there. But you really need 2 bankers, don't you? Because it's fastest and second fastest time that count towards the grid for the first 2 races. So Freddie Slater, number 7, the championship's leader, still quickest of all. Alicia Polomovsky, number 21 for Elite Motorsport, second quickest, but she's half a second shy of Freddie Slater. So it's not just the way that he's won race. It's not just winning the races. It's the way in which Freddie Slater has won them. He has been dominant. He heads over the start-finish line and completes his 3rd flying lap, Freddie Slater. And it is a little bit shy, 0.3 of a second shy of his best that time through. So all of these cars now will be completing their final flying lap already. It really is quick stuff in the Ginetta Juniors. So very unusual format. Over the start finish goes Mikey Porter. What can he do? His first lap time didn't count. His second lap time was a good one. His third lap time was a little bit slower, but that's still not bad from Mikey Porter. A lap of 1 minute 54.9 is probably about 0.6 shy of maybe where he wanted to be. Through goes Leo Robinson over the start finish line and is slower by a matter of thousandths of a second. Well, that's 2 consistent laps from Leo. 1 minute 54.88. 1 minute 54.833 that time through. His previous lap was a 1 minute 54.819. So within, 14 one-thousandths of a second of each other, those 2 particular laps. But now we start to see a few more that are losing laps this time through. Hugo Schwarzer has transgressed the circuit limit, so he loses the lap that he's just posted, the German, who is 6th quickest at the moment. But I think that's pretty much everybody now that has completed their 2 flying laps. There might be the odd 1 or 2 to come through, the likes of Felix Livesley for Zentech Motorsport, rookie in the championship for this season. Edu Robinson, another dual nationality driver, Spanish-English driver, comes through to complete the lap as well. But I think we'll start to see some of the others dive their way into the pit lane at the end of this one. Harry Moss comes through, who is 17th quickest and cannot improve on 17th. And then we get over the start-finish line, Holly Mail, another one of the Fox Motorsport drivers. Fox having got 3 cars in the championship this year. Holly Mail could not improve, and I think everybody else will be diving for the pit lane, so that is it. They've all done their 3 flying laps by the look of things, and we shouldn't see any more cars now come through and over the start-finish line, so it looks as though pole position for the first of the Michelin Ginetta Junior Championship races here at Donington Park goes the way of number 7, Freddie Slater. 1 minute 53.719. Second quickest was number 21, which is Alicia Polomovsky, with a time of 1 minute 54.261. Third quickest was number 38, Finn Harrison, 1 minute 54.372. And fourth quickest is number 19, Mikey Porter, 1 minute 54.379. Fifth quickest is number 48, that is Luca Hopkinson, 1 minute 54.513. And sixth quickest is number 33, Hugo Schwarzer, with a time of 1 minute 54.705, which is 1/1000th of a second quicker than the car that's 7th quickest, number 50, Charlie Hart, with a time of 1 minute 54.706. 8th quickest, car number 26, is Henry Joslin, with a 1 minute 54.747. 9th quickest is number 37, and that is the car of Leo Robinson, 1 minute 54.819. 10th quickest, a little bit out from where I would expect that car to be, number 78, which is Reza Suwarthan, with a time of 1 minute 54.887. Brer English sneaks through to do another lap. That will be frowned upon. And 11th quickest is number 90, Chase Fernandez, with a time of 1 minute 54.986. 12th quickest is number 24, Mackenzie Douglas, 1 minute 55.080. 13th quickest is number 16, which is Thomas Spragg, 1 minute 55.285. 14th quickest is number 66, Freddie Allen, 1 minute 55.960. 15th quickest is number 31, that's Felix Livesley, with a Felix Livesey, I should say, 1 minute 56.625. 16th quickest is number 51, Edu Robinson, 1 minute 57.031. 17th quickest is number 47, which is Harry Moss, 1 minute 57.344. 18th quickest is 23, which is Holly Mail, with a time of with a time of 1 minute 57.988, and slowest of the 19 cars that we saw out there was Conor 84, which is Breer Inglis, with a time of 1 minute 59.618. So that's the way they should line up later on, subject to any other discrepancies or anything else that needs tweaking. But we'll bring you full grids later on before we see those Ginetta Junior cars back out for what will be the next time later on today, and that will be for our penultimate race of the day. So around about 5 o'clock we'll see them back out onto the circuit.